Hello, welcome to today's Watch in the Workshop. So, first of all, we're going to have a look back earlier in the week when I took drastic measures to make it bearable enough that I can be sat in here now. Then today, we're going to try and get this to run for more than a couple of minutes and hopefully have its own fuel source. And then I'm going to see if I can get it to move and maybe even stop. Let's see how we get on. So, after an awful lot of persuading with this mallet, passenger door is open. I don't know if it'll ever open again. How are we looking this side? Better on the A-post. Worse on the sill. Yeah. What about the old floor? Well, the carpet's just disintegrating, so that's fine. Wow. Hard to tell. Everything is very covered in mouse feces, so that's great. I'm wearing a mask. I don't really want to die. Yeah, let's get the hoover around. Well, I've given it a bit of thinking about, and the inside of that car is just too disgusting. There's too many different types of poo, too many different types of mould. I could hoover and wipe and clean till the cows come home. So there's only one thing for it. I'm going to have to pressure wash the inside of the car. It's drastic, but there's really nothing else for it. Right, it's the next day after the pressure washing. It is sunny and it is windy, which are excellent drying conditions. It's better. I left it open all night to dry. It managed to get the Webasto open just a little bit. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it looks like something you might be able to sit in without catching a disease now. Once that's dried off, it's definitely better. Some wet in the gauges, but I'm sure they'll sort themselves out. Yeah, definitely an improvement. It still smells, but less. Right, got it backed off the trailer, and I've waterproofed it. So, done my best over all the holes. Basically a respray. Hopefully, if it rains tomorrow, that should keep the worst of it out. So first thing, get that fuel pump out of there, because undoubtedly it's going to be dead. It'll have points on it which will be almost certainly seized. So we'll start with that, go from there. Well, I thought about it for a moment, and the idea of lying underneath the car and changing that pump doesn't appeal. So, taking the cap off, there's the points, you can see they're all corroded. I'm going to clean them up and see if that sorts it out. Well, cleaned up the points, nothing. Made sure we got electric supply to it, fine. So I'm trying a few more things, try and bring this back to life. I've just hinged sort of the top plate down out of the way. I'll try and get in here and see if we can pull the pump in and out, see if we can jiggle her and bring her back to life. But failing that, I'm going to have to get at the pump. Yes! Hopefully that's going to work. I'll get to the other end and see what's squirting out. The pump's pumping away this end, but nothing coming out. So one of several things are going on. It's blocked. There's a crack in the pipe so it can't pick up from the tank. The pump doesn't work, or we're really lucky and there's no fuel in there. So obviously the nice locking cap was long since seized. Turns out it doesn't matter, screwdriver. That's... Hello! I'm going to torch and see what's in there. Well, it looks fairly empty. It also looks made of rust. I'll splash a little bit of petrol in there and we'll see what comes out the other end. Okay, there's a little bit of petrol in there now. Don't see any leaking out. What I do now is put the cover back on that. Don't want any little sparks from those points causing a unexpected thermal incident. and then we'll see what comes out the other end. Alright, let's see how this goes. Fuel pump's clicky clacking. Not much going on this end just yet. Okay, I've crammed myself under here and I think we may have found the problem. That wet one there is the outlet, which is clearly going to leak from that flexi pipe up the top there, but you know, I'd really like to get it with a pit before I deal with that. This one over here is the inlet from the tank. Now, fuel doesn't travel that well via Wi-Fi, so that'll do it. I'll rectify that and then we'll try this again. I accidentally breathed on the outlet pipe, so you know, might need to do that one as well now. Right, I got the pipes replaced under there. Just see the new one on the tank there. No Jubilee clips at the minute. I figure that's going to be much easier once I can get it in the garage over the pit. So let's see what happens. Oh, it's making a good noise. Sounds like it's trying. Certainly getting air through. Will we get some fuel? Come on. Oh, it's struggling. Okay. Maybe we've got a blocked pickup. Let's have a look at that. I pulled off the pickup pipe. The moment I did that, the noise changed, so it must be blocked in the tank. So I'll try blowing it through with an airline and see what happens. Well, it's oh, thinking about it. Come on, you can do it. Pump's still pumping away as if it's doing all right. It's not slowed down like it's struggling, but we're just not getting anything through this end yet to speak of. Might blow a little air into the tank, see if we can help the pump along a bit. Wow, it's not a huge flow rate, but I think that's going to be enough to run it. The colour is we didn't have any fuel in it at all, and it doesn't appear to leak. Let's see what happens. Right, got all the fuel lines replaced in here. Reuse the old filter because I figure it's going to get full of rubbish pretty quick. So, I think we're pretty much ready to see if it works. I think it's fair to say there isn't much in there in the way of coolant. Took the top hose off and there's nothing. So I just thought I'd put a hose in the thermostat housing and flush it through. It's coming through pretty clean actually, which is a surprise. This is obviously furry and horrible, but on the top hose is broken on the end there, but I think I should be able to get that to seal. We'll see. Well, disappointingly, but perhaps not entirely surprisingly, it appears to be leaking out at quite a rate from the radiator. But for now, it's got a bit of water in. So, we'll see if it starts, and we can run it for a little bit before it runs out of water. float sticking on a carburetor. Okay, so floats have stopped sticking. Fix that in the time-honoured fashion of giving it a tap with a screwdriver. That's now behaving itself. Running amazingly well. Still got a noisy water pump / alternator, haven't figured out which. Now, considering how long this has been parked, take a look how clean that exhaust is. There is not a trace of blue smoke, nothing. Those piston rings are perfect. I can't quite believe that. Now I need to change the oil pretty soon, but on idle we've got 50 psi oil pressure and we're just coming up to normal operating temperature. Amazing. Let's see. He'll move. Well, yes, and also no. And that it goes into gear completely smoothly when you press the clutch. So it's disengaging, but the pedal's sticking down. So I don't know if that's the clutch master or slave. I'll try giving it a bit of a tap and see if it frees off. If it's not that, then it must be the clutch itself, which is a bit more faff. I'm going to get in and press the clutch. And while I'm doing that, can you hit this by that?
Hit what?
Is that him? Repeatedly hit that clutch slave on the side where you can see I've been hitting it. That's it, like that. That's it, here, by the way. Thank you, glamorous assistant. Lesser of two evils, you could have been sat in it.
Yeah, true that.
Thanks to my glamorous assistant and her tapping skills, that has freed off the clutch master. So we'll have another go, see if it moves. not only do the clutch work as treat, you may also notice are stopped. Apply the brakes, they work absolutely sharp, and as soon as I let off the brakes, it rolls again. That's all of its functions. So, aside from a leaky radiator, it's almost a driving car. Here we are in car, so we've got some oil pressure, 50 psi on idle, temperature's normal, clock is functioning, and it wants me to put my seatbelt on. So if I go for reverse, my in gear, yep. I think I should be reverse. Here we go. Just works exactly as you'd hope it would. I have to say the clutch even feels nice, it's light. That's working really well. The brakes, I can't believe the brakes. They're just firm, but the servo's working. Throttle response is good. Rev counter works. Well, there we have it. Runs and it drives under its own power. The clutch works, the gearbox works, the clock even works. So next thing, obviously, I'm going to have to get it in the garage and see just how rusty it is. We've got a lot of wiggling around, moving cars about to be able to get it in and do that. So we'll leave that for next week. But for this week, thanks for watching.